Hello and welcome back to another video. In this video, we will be going over the 10 most expensive animated movies of all time. On spot number 10, we have Brave, with a budget of $185 million. This 2012 animated film focuses on a boundary-breaking princess called Merida. The movie was universally appreciated for its portrayal of a strong female character who refused to adhere to the norms of a strongly patriarchal society. It had amazing animation, convincing voice acting, and was overall one of the best films of 2012. A lot of the budget was spent on rewriting Pixar's entire animation system in order to deliver the visual goods, and I'd imagine the remaining time and budget was spent on Merida's hair. Despite having a very high budget, it was still paid off since it ended up grossing over $500 million worldwide. On spot number 9, we have The Good Dinosaur, with a budget of $195 million. Unfortunately for Walt Disney Studios and Pixar Animation Studios, the $195 million spent on producing The Good Dinosaur and the $150 million used on marketing was a bad decision, because the film was good, not great. It brought in a box office total of $123 million domestically, the worst ever by Pixar Animation Studios. The problem was that the characters seemed childish and poorly animated in comparison to the spectacular scenery and landscapes. Fun fact, it was actually the water that cost the most money, as it usually does when it comes to animated films. On spot number 8, we have Finding Dory, with a budget of $200 million. Finding Dory is the 2016 sequel to 2003's Finding Nemo. The amnesiac fish Dory is the central character in this film, but she soon becomes lost due to her poor short-term memory. She decides to search for her parents, leading her all across the ocean. The film was well received critically, and is one of the best Pixar movies ever made. It is also one of the most expensive ones, since it brought in $1 billion gross profit worldwide. On spot number 7, we have Monsters University, with a budget of $200 million. In 2013, Monsters Inc. fans finally got a prequel added to their favorite series. The story is about the origins of Mike and Sully's friendship. Therefore, this movie focused on the college times of James P. Sullivan, Mike Wazowski, and other fan favorites. It was pretty popular, and many fans and critics gave it glowing reviews. The film was well animated and entertaining, but also very expensive to make. However, it also grossed over $740 million at the box office revenue. The groundbreaking system they used in Monsters University was called Global Illumination, a lighting system they created to help them adapt to the modern technologies. This system simulates how real-world light would appear in the film. It helped create a very realistic film. On spot number 6, we have Cars 2, with a budget of $200 million. Surprisingly, Cars 2 carried an even higher budget than the film that followed it. This entry in the franchise made Mother the Tow Truck the central character. The fan favorite gets involved in international espionage, as he and Lightning McQueen visit Europe and Japan, while McQueen races in the World Grand Prix. Although the story of Cars 2 was rather thin, it's clear that a lot of the budget went into the visual effects, given that the finished product is nothing short of eye candy. For all its failings and very mixed criticism, it still managed to pull in $560 million at the box office revenue. On spot number 5, we have Toy Story 3, with a budget of $200 million. Toy Story 3 saw the return of our favorite toys Woody and Buzz Lightyear as they prepared to deal with Andy going to college. The film was released in 2010 and was incredibly popular among the public and critics. It even managed to receive 4 Academy Award nominations and was the highest grossing film of 2010. Toy Story 3 was the first animated movie to ever make over $1 billion in revenue, although this has since been surpassed by Frozen's $1.26 billion in takings. It's in situations like these that make high budgets worth it. Toy Story 3 was the first film to ever feature theatrical 7.1 surround sound. On spot number 4, we have Frozen 2, with a budget of $200 million. On spot number 3, we have Toy Story 4, with a budget of $200 million. Toy Story 4 was released in 2019, but this film was different than the others. The story about Buzz and Woody being Andy's toys came to a perfect ending in Toy Story 3. So this was instead a story of its own, not a continuation of a previous film. This meant that Pixar Animation and Walt Disney Studios were going to make the fourth film in the franchise the highest grossing animated franchise Disney has ever produced. It was worth it big time though, since it brought in over $1 billion in total. On spot number 2, we have The Lion King, with a budget of $250 million. The Lion King remake, made in 2019, brought in over $1.66 billion, which was a new record. The film had amazing graphics, and it was almost hard to spot the difference between animation and real life. Some fans had some criticism against it though, and it could be summed up in 2 words: no emotion. While the animation is stunning, and the animals look like you could reach out and touch them, the style lacks the range of emotion and expression that the original captured so well. All in all, it is one of the best animated movies ever created, and I personally hope we will see more like this in the future from Walt Disney Pictures. On spot number 1, we have Tangled, with a budget of $260 million. The top film on our list is the modernized tale of Rapunzel, which was created by Walt Disney Animation Studios. It received overwhelmingly positive reviews and was even nominated for an Academy Award. It inspired a short film called Tangled Ever After, and also inspired a TV series that premiered in 2017. Tangled was shot on the highest budget of any animated film ever. It took about 6 years to produce, but in the end it was worth it, since it over doubled its money back at the box office, and scored nearly anonymously positive reviews from critics. It is the 6th most expensive movie of any kind, and is only beaten by Avengers Infinity War, Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, Justice League, Solo, A Star Wars Story, and Superman Returns. Thanks for listening, and I hope I will see you in the next video.